Yes, sir, Playboy, man. I told y'all. Come on, man. How many times? How many times does it make now? This is like the 9th time. Listen, I was right. You see the title, you know what I'm about to talk about. Every single time I say something, y'all doubt me. You guys challenge me, you question me, and then you insult me. That's the wildest part. But I could be challenged. I could be questioned. That's cool. But y'all like to insult me, man. That shit hurt. You don't gotta do that, okay? You guys don't gotta be as mean as you do. Point being is that everything I called in the previous tier list video that I made, and then the speculation video that I made, and then when I did it on stream twice, by the way, I tweeted about it. I'm using future sight for y'all to understand what's going on. But you know what? It's cool. Maybe you'll listen to me after watching this ad.
Are you tired of feeling uncomfortable while gaming or creating?
Bro, what the fuck? Oh my God.
Have no fear, FlexiSpot is here. Introducing the FlexiSpot C7 Ergonomic Chair. The ultimate solution for all-day comfort and support. With its self-adaptive dynamic system, the C7's lumbar support cushion automatically adjusts to your posture, ensuring constant support and reducing back pain. The C7 is fully adjustable to fit your individual height and weight, allowing for a truly customized fit. Its forward-leaning posture position relieves pressure and prevents fatigue during those long gaming sessions or intense editing all-nighters. The spaciously wide 20-inch seat provides plenty of room to sit in any position you find comfortable, even cross-legged. The C7 can even be used with the hammock under the desk for ultimate relaxation or the exclusive Pro footrest. And if you want to add a little more fashion sense to your C7, it's available in stylish pink, green, black, white, and gray. The C7 not only provides superior comfort, but also adds a touch of personality to your gaming setup and workspace. Designed for all heights and supporting up to 300 pounds, the C7 is perfect for anyone who spends long hours sitting. Try the C7 risk-free with their 30-day free return policy and enjoy peace of mind with their 10-year warranty.
Thanks, FlexiSpot.
Use my exclusive code C730 and purchase the C7 now to enjoy a $30 discount. This summer is the best time to upgrade your comfort and support with FlexiSpot.
Big shout outs to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video, because I need money. Henshin a go, baby. What's good, guys? Yoku here. You see what website I'm on. We're on the Prydwen Star Rail tier list, June 2024. They just updated this, okay? I'm gonna go over the changelog for y'all, because normally what I do, I'll give you an hour-long video and we'll talk about the entire tier list, which, to be fair, most of this didn't change. Now, some of these things I will readdress. I do have some newfound opinions that I think a lot of you stick around for the video and you'll be surprised. I think a lot of you are going to be surprised what comes out of my mouth. Now, forewarning, I've still been doing my testing with Seele. I want to keep that a buck. But I've been doing more testing with some other characters, those characters being Jing, Yuan, Daniel. I'm naming those for obvious reasons, right? You guys are always like, oh, he hates Min, he hates Daniel, he hates Jing. You guys are gonna want to stick around for what I gotta say about these characters. You guys notice there are 2 new characters in, 1 new character down, or one old character removed. The new character being Firefly for obvious reasons. I told you guys. I said it again and again and again and again and again. I made 3 different videos on it, and I said Firefly was arguably as strong, if not stronger, than Acheron. Going over these, right? We have Aventurine as the only tier 0 sustain. We have Ruan Mei as the only tier 0 amplifier. We have Firefly as the only tier 0 specialist, and then Acheron as the only tier 0 damage dealer. Right now, I'm okay with this. I think this is fine for a number of reasons, because everyone is the only one in their spot, and this could be justified. The argument presents itself now, not on whether or not they deserve tier 0. Right now, the argument for any character is whether or not you can argue they don't deserve tier 0. If anyone deserves this spot more than them, and if you can't make that argument, they either both don't go in tier 0, or whoever you're trying to make the argument for is just not, you know, it's not there. Acheron is without a shadow of a doubt, it's inarguable, she's the best DPS character in the game as of right now. Firefly is right up there. However, there are some caveats to this. Now, right now, what Prydwen has is that she has the action advance in her kit, just like how Bronya has that. She has the break, so that's something that's unique to her, as well as a few other break DPS characters in the game. and then she's SP unfriendly. Now this is solved with E1, but right now this is taking into account E0 S0, and E0 S0 is significantly stronger than a number of characters in the game. In fact, she absolutely loves using the Fall of an Aeon in her kit, and this is really good for her. So right now, Firefly being up here is great. Because we can see this though, let me go ahead and read the change log for Firefly. Firefly's best team deals some of the most damage of any team in the game, while almost completely ignoring the weakness inherent to her break archetype thanks to her kit. TLDR, she can implant fire on anything in the game permanently. It's pretty much permanent. It's like 2 turns, but because you're constantly doing it, it's permanent. So she can permanently implant fire on anything in the game across multiple enemies. It's ridiculous. Firefly can implant her own weakness. She can amplify her own toughness damage, has multiple ways to scale her break damage, has strong multi-target capabilities thanks to her speed and cleave, and has a full team of incredibly synergistic characters to play alongside her. It's just too much. Let me take a moment to talk about this real quick. The full team of incredibly synergistic characters to play alongside her. This is pretty much going to be Ruan Mei, HMC, Firefly, and then Gallagher. The crazy thing about these 4 teams, or these 4 characters in particular, is all of them have some form of break enhancement, break efficiency, break damage increase, whatever the case may be, and they all boost it up together, right? If one person is boosting break, they all benefit from it. If one person is delaying the enemy, they all benefit from it. It's not one of those teams where, like, and I talk about this a lot with hyper carry, right? And I always say this with like what makes a team a team. In hyper carry teams, it's all about benefiting that one DPS character and, you know, sacrificing everything so this one DPS character can carry the team forward. Yeah, but in this team, everyone puts in work. HMC puts in work, whether that be the little bit of damage or a lot of damage from her super break that she's able to do, the delay that she has built into her kit to help whatever it is that your DPS character is doing. Ruan Mei is also getting some extra damage. We already knew she was getting damage from the basic attacks, super breaks, or anything like that, or her regular breaks, my bad. Now she gets super break damage on top of that. And then she also has break efficiency. She also has extra little bit of delay. She has the damage penetration boost, all these different things to help out the team. Then you have Gallagher. Gallagher is not only keeping the team alive, but he has a full screen. I'm gonna pop everybody on the screen. Hey, here's my giant Wolverine claw, 50% effect toughness or toughness break, just like that. Oh, you only have 50%, bro. GG's, get clapped. Boom, shattered. It's over. The team is too good. Synergistically, the team, there is not a single flaw in this team. So the fact that people are complaining about this being the only team that they can use for Firefly, I think it's just kind of like you're complaining just to complain. And I say that in, again, what would be a nice way. I'm not trying to dog on anybody here, but I think this is just a ridiculous argument right now. If this were an argument about boot hill, and like, hey man, I want to be able to advance myself forward, get super break, and get whatever else. Okay, that's valid. I agree with you on that, right? Firefly advances herself forward. It's basically like playing Seele, right? With the basic attack, and then she brings herself forward. But Firefly does it by 100%. You know what? Jing Liu might have been a better example of that, right? Because Jing Liu advances herself forward whenever she goes into Bankai. And then so whenever Firefly goes into Kamen Rider Sam, he advances herself forward. So I guess those are 1 for 1, right? There's a lot of things that she does. Her kit feels complete. She has her own super break. She has her own action advance. She heals herself just like she takes away from herself, her HP rather. And then she also has an incredible amount of toughness breaking. Everything about Firefly is a complete character added onto other characters that help complete the team. And they're also complete characters. It's too good. Now, let me burst your bubble real quick that I talked about in like the beginning of this video and then the video that came out before this video. There's a team, Firefly and Boot Hill, that shit is nasty. It is easily one of the best teams in the game, bro. When I tell you that nothing survives, it's if you want to zero cycle something, go pick up a Firefly, go pick up a Ruan Mei, and then go pick up a Boot Hill. You're gonna zero cycle whatever you want, at least right now. We can read it. Ruan Mei went up from tier 0.5 to tier 0. Now, as the Ruan Mei Glazer, I've said this since she's released in the game. No other Harmony character is on the same level. No support character is on the same level as Ruan Mei. I've said this time and time again. Of course, the Sparkle mains, the Sparkle lovers will argue you down. The Robin lovers will argue you down, but it's not. Robin fits on particular teams, and that's wonderful for her. She's not for everybody, although she has way more than Sparkle, yeah? Sparkle fits on significant teams, and she's wonderful there, but she's not for everybody. Ruan Mei works for everyone. There's not a single character in the game that Ruan Mei does not benefit. That's too much, right? Everything as far as sustain goes, we see, I'm going to scroll down here for you guys. Xuan got bumped down. Xuan has an arrow, a red arrow on her tag now. Xuan, tier 0 to tier 0.5, which, let's clarify, 0.5 is not this, oh my god.
Bro, she's 0.5 now, she's the worst character in the game.
No, before you even start this, stop typing the comment right now. I know you're typing something about Xuan, bro. Stop, just stop. Tier 0.5 is still basically tier 0, dude. It means that someone is a little bit better or a lot bit better than you. That's really all it is. Xuan has stood at the top of the MOC tier list for a long time, thanks to her great offensive buffs, break potential, fantastic damage mitigation, and protection abilities. And these things have not gone away, guys. All of this is still in Xuan's kit. Going from tier 0 to tier 0.5 does not magically mean she doesn't have these things anymore. However, after much internal discussion and with input from the community, us creators, us theory crafters, us game players, us zero cyclers. I'm not in the zero cycle category. I mean, I am now because I'm doing it. I've been like practicing zero cycles, you know what I'm saying? But that's not me. All right, we're gonna leave that to the PvP draft. They be in their zero cycling life all. But point being is that we did that. That was a community effort, right? Having a conversation, arguments, debates, all that kind of stuff. After all of this, they have decided to move Xuan down half a tier. The driving force behind community sentiment and our decision is Aventurine and his universally dominant kit. Let me tell you guys, he's just too good. This isn't even going over the fact that you can run Aventurine in an offensive manner, right? He's gonna have 100% crit rate. You're gonna have all that crit damage that you can stack on top of him, and then dude starts dropping 50 to 90k attacks just to help out the team get damage. 50 to 90k on enemies today, in today's, bro, that's a clean 1 to 3%. When you're sitting there struggling, man, if I could clear this cycle if I had 3 more percent, 5 more percent. What am I doing wrong? Check your sustain. Anyhow, moving from the rest of this, yeah, a lot of these didn't change. I will say Gallagher is a big one, okay? Gallagher getting bumped up here, and I said this in my previous video. I said I feel like Gallagher is above Luocha, but what I couldn't say, I said I cannot confidently say that Gallagher goes in tier 0.5 right now, because then I would have to compare him at that time. I would have had to compare him to Huahua, Aventurine, and Xuan. It was too much. But now looking at Gallagher, they see they're only comparing him, at least as of this point in time, to Huahua. That's all they had to compare him to was Huahua. Gallagher was like, yeah, he makes it. Put him in. He brings too much to the table, bro. Get an E2 Gallagher, call it a day. Then, of course, we have Harmony MC. Now we have E6 as well. Harmony MC getting bumped up to tier 0.5 was something even I didn't see. Being compared to Sparkle and Robin, Harmony MC, that's strong. I would have never told you that. I would have said keep that boy in tier 1, right? Keep him down here with Ting Yun. But Prydwen sees something in this character that I don't. Right now, I see Harmony MC as a very niche character, but I can see him growing. Let's look at this though. Going from tier 1 to 0.5, right? With the release of Firefly, Imaginary Trailblazer finds a close to irreplaceable position in one of the best teams in the entire game, and also gains access to their long-awaited E6, raising the power level of this character by a significant amount. I haven't even activated my E6 yet. Most players still are trying to get E5, yeah? After testing HMC with Firefly and also observing how their position in the break meta has developed, we're updating the role and position on the tier list. As we're adjusting Trailblazer's role from specialist to amplifier. The reason for this is that in Firefly's team, Trailblazer's main home, they primarily contribute through their buffs and not their own personal damage. We've also found this to be the case in many other break teams. Those break teams, just a few to name, right? Can include Shui Yi, Luca, Sushong, Himeko, Boot Hill. We are talking about Firefly right now, so that is definitely something that you could work out with that. I'm trying to think of any other quantum units that could be break-centric. Silverwolf, if you wanted the DPS Silver because you had E2 Silver, you could do that. Argenti, break Argenti is a thing. Jing Yuan, we were going to talk about him earlier, but Jing Yuan, that's a Hyperbreak Jing Yuan, right? With the HMC. HMC is a powerhouse. The same reasons that we were talking about Sparkle. Now, when Sparkle got here, oh man, she's bringing up characters. One of the key pivotal things that we talked about and why Sparkle was placed so highly, right? Why she had so much value compared to the other characters in the game, the other Harmony units in the game, was because when Sparkle got here, he lifted up a number of units, very similar to Ruan Mei. Now that we have HMC here, HMC isn't necessarily lifting up units. What HMC is doing is allowing more units to shine in places that other DPS characters cannot do. It's a very good thing, very good combo. Lastly, while their damage can be significant, it's their buffs that secure them a position on most teams. Due to Trailblazers' reasonable performance throughout 2.2 and new top-tier team compositions with Firefly in 2.3, we're also raising them up from tiers up to tier 0.5 in MOC and tier 1 in pure fiction. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful right there. Very well deserved. Now, talking about the rest of this real quick, let me go ahead and clarify some things that I was saying in the previous tier list video and even on stream, right? Some of the things that I made that I won't say that I was unaware of them. I will more so say that now that I've done more testing, I see the difference. I see the light, okay? Focus on the claims that I made with Daniel and Seele. After doing an extensive amount of testing, and I mean extensive, bro, this testing has been going on for days. Recently, I brought the test back, and it's also been going on for the last couple of months. I've been testing it per MOC. I've been testing this with Seele, how she performs, and then with Daniel. My tests have come back pretty much conclusive. I think I'm pretty safe to say this now. Seele does do more damage per cycle with Daniel. However, let me make this clear. This is Seele. I'm not changing her set. Just straight up quantum set Seele, no signature light cone, okay? Daniel, in what could be, or rather what Prydwen and anyone else says that is his best set, Imaginary, Musketeer, two-piece, however you want to mix it. Any of that, Seele smokes Daniel. She's doing more. The reason I say that, and I do have some footage of this, I don't know if it'll be in this video or not, but basically, she's doing more damage per cycle. The way she's doing this is by taking more actions than him. E0, S0 Daniel, this is with the Imaginary set, and you can see the damage here, right? Ult, 89k. His enhanced basic attack, 180,000 or 181,000, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 5 attacks total. He's doing 660,000 damage, yeah? And so then I move down here to Seele, and you see the number of attacks almost doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Literally one attack off, and I know I can squeeze it out depending on the sustain, depending on the team. Both of these, by the way, were sustain comps. I'm not doing the sustainless comp because it's not feasible to have that. I'm only bringing this up in the middle of what I'm talking about now so you guys can see that I do have the data to back up what I'm talking about and why I think the way that I do. The damage total output is almost 100,000 more to the T compared to Daniel because she's able to attack more often. These are very similar builds, okay? I gave Daniel what he wanted. I gave Seele what she wanted. The crit rate values are pretty much identical. The only difference is because he's E0, S0, the attack naturally is not as high as Seele's is until he's able to boost it up with all of his innate abilities in his kit, the fall of an Aeon Light Cone, things like that. It's not until, and this is shout outs to Summon. Summon saved you Daniel mains, by the way. Summon let me know Quantum was actually a sleeper on Daniel and that it was technically his best set. Now, to be fair, Quantum seems to be everybody's best set, but I went ahead and tested it. I kept it neutral. They fought the same enemies, the same MOC, which is current MOC with the Trotter. Neither of them attacked the Trotter. In fact, like I said, I have the footage of it. I'll show it eventually. I'll definitely show it on stream, but I have the footage. It just has to get approved. Anyhow, point being is that once I swapped Daniel to Quantum, you can see that the numbers jumped up. And it wasn't that all of them jumped up by a lot, but you notice something in particular, right? Right here, the enhanced basic attack hitting 156, it jumps up to 188. You see his ult goes to 98 instead of the 46, okay? So the crits that he's hitting are doing more consistent damage, right? And then now you see that this final attack is really what it came down to. These are all boosted, by the way, with King Yun's boost, Sparkle's boost, Huehue's boost, right? 229,000 damage. And then the total output, 800,000. So this changed my perspective on Daniel. And what this allowed me to do which pretty much remove why I'm thinking about Daniel the way that I am. So we come back over here to the tier list and Prydwen, and I just want to I gave you guys all the backstory, so hopefully you listened to all of that. If you didn't, it is what it is. But I'm bringing all that up to say that Daniel and Seele are still, in my opinion, very close. And as I mentioned before, I think Seele deserves to be up here, tier 0.5, or Daniel gets bumped down to tier 1. I am no longer saying Daniel needs to be in tier 1. I think this character is too strong, depending on the gear set you're using. Be in tier 1. He needs to be in tier 0.5. However, I'm now making that argument that Seele needs to be up here in 0.5. And again, this is coming from someone who understands how to play Seele. At least now I do, right? And I know a lot of other players do not understand how to play Seele. We go through this all the time where someone says, Seele is not as good as Daniel or Kafka. Why? Well, because my Seele is bad. Okay, your Seele is bad. Everybody else's Seele is not bad. Anyhow, moving along, that is what that is. The next character that I want to talk about would be Jing Yuan. Now, right now, I think Jing Yuan being in tier 1.5 is valid. But I think what's going to happen, I think that Hyperbreak Jimmy nonsense that's going around, he's going to jump up. This character is about to jump up, guys. Whatever this Hyperbreak Jimmy nonsense is with him, HMC, Ruan Mei, and Gallagher on the team, or whatever it is, if that starts to perform significantly better and consistently, oh yeah, Jimmy is gonna jump up here to at least tier 1. I could see it. Will he out DPS ratio? Probably not. So to be fair, it might keep him in the damage dealer role. But this is what I was talking about earlier when I said HMC isn't so much as bringing characters up, but it's bringing out new opportunities or new builds for these characters to shine. And I think that Hyperbreak Jimmy is one of those characters. At this point, he might be better than Claire. He's definitely better than QQ. And you see that not Seele, Serval is no longer being compared to Jing Yuan thanks to Hyperbreak Jimmy. Now, I still don't believe Jing Yuan should be in the same boat as Seele, especially after doing my test versus Seele and Daniel, and then Seele and Jing Liu. I don't think these characters are in the same boat, and she absolutely needs to be up here, minimum tier 1 next to ratio, and then we can start making arguments as to why she should or should not be in 0.5. But that's a whole different video for a whole different time that we'll talk about. I pretty much only wanted to go over all of the different changes that happened in this video. Oh, and then last change, if I'm not mistaken, it's Himeko, right? Yep, Himeko. Himeko actually got bumped up from tier 4. She was in tier 4 for a long time. Since they changed the tier list, Himeko has been in tier 4. Now she is in tier 3. And I expect this character, hopefully, with the way that current MLC is going, because like side 2 for Himeko is too good. But with break effect teams, and I've been able to test this out with Firefly, with DHIL as well, with Himeko, and I'm getting like anywhere between 1 to 2 cycles with these two characters on the same team. I'm able to really take advantage of what's going on here and show you guys just how strong Robot Jones is, because it's unconditional. I mean, the condition of breaking, of course, but there is no like break once and then pause, wait a couple turns, break again. No. Anytime you get 3 breaks, you rack up three slot tokens, right? You get 3 break tokens, Robot Jones is coming back out. But the beauty in this, and something that I'll try and talk about in a little bit more of an extensive video when I talk about these two in particular, is that with Himeko and DHIL, or with Himeko and Firefly, what ends up happening is that you're able to trigger Robot Jones so much that you don't even have to worry about break effect. And with the combination of Ruan Mei and Harmon MC on the team, as well as potentially DHIL or Firefly, but mainly the first two, right? Those two characters give Himeko so much break effect for free that she doesn't even need to build break effect. Obviously, some substats will help, but she pretty much only needs a break effect rope. And then you stack up 2,900 or 3k attack from the rest of her substats, her own light cone. You purely build her on crit. What this allows you to do is now we can start getting into true dual DPS or even sub DPS categories, where now characters don't have to all be crit. I don't need 2 DPS characters that are all crit, right? Now I have a traditional, this character is solely for breaking an enemy, taking advantage of the break effect. This character is for using crit values and taking advantage of having a high attack stat, good speed, and then a lot of crit. And you pretty much round out all offensive corners possible with building a team like this. That's why I'm so excited to test out things like Shui Yi or Su Shang, even going back to Blade if he's gonna work out that way, right? Even with Jade, maybe that's something that we need to think about now, like a break Jade with the Quantum. That'd be crazy. I don't think she's gonna work that way, but that's whatever. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up everything that I want to talk about with this new tier list for June 2024. How long are we in? Like 30 minutes, bro? That's really not a long time compared to what I normally take. I think this is a pretty easy tier list for you guys to listen to, give me some feedback on, give your own thoughts and opinions on who's doing what. But ultimately, I really want us to look at the new meta. Like I said before, break effect meta was not ready. I was very confident in that, and now I'm less confident, or rather I'm more confident that it's getting to a point where it is ready. It's competitively viable. And I think tinkering with some of these things is very good, in particular with Firefly. Now, I do want to admit though, having tested more of Boot Hill, right? Having him on my own account, being able to play with him with my own characters. Boot Hill is top 3 DPS. I think I'm very confident in that, because now the argument is it's no longer like who I'm arguing for top 3. The argument is who's the third. Boot Hill or Jing Liu. That's where I'm at right now. At one point I would have said Seele, Boot Hill, Jing Liu, or Seele, but Boot Hill is like just bodying Seele right now in terms of like that pure ability to literally load the gun, then fan the hammer, and you watch as their break bar gets deleted. Big explosion. You see someone go from like 90% HP to 50%. Then the rest of all 5 bullets left over, right? Or all 4 bullets, however many bullets you got. But that's gonna be it. I can't say my usual outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Blah 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 blah. I fumbled in my head. I said it, but you see, like physically, I hung up, right? Like my mouth was like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.